it is honestly hugely appreciated that you've agreed to do this, because it makes a huge difference to us as a company,
Okay.
because obviously prospects get to watch this. But also it's really nice for the team, because the team get to watch these as well.
Okay.
And so it's
Okay.
nice, because we don't get to meet customers face
And
to
yeah.
face and things, for them
Yeah.
to actually see what people think is
Yeah.
really important to us and to them. So it'd be really useful to sort of hear from you, why did you consider using us? What was your situation at the time? Why us? Why not a different company?
Okay. Well, initially, I was looking to buy a little bungalow in the area. I had a 3-bedroom detached house, which was far too big for me. I lost my husband 7 years ago. My son moved out 18 months ago, and I was rattling around in this large house. So I wanted to downsize. There aren't many bungalows on the market, as you probably know. And I found one that I liked. It was with a particular local agent. So I liked this bungalow, and I thought I'll go with that agent to make it easier to sell. And they were worse than useless, to be honest, if I'm allowed to say it.
Yeah.
No good at no good at communication. I'd ask questions. 5 weeks later, I still didn't have any answers. I was told we must do an energy proficiency certificate or whatever it's called. He never got round to doing it. There's things like that. So I lost faith in them. And in so doing, I also lost the bungalow.
Oh
So
dear.
I had a
Yeah.
look round and thought, I need something, a company I can trust. And I'd had a few flyers through, and I didn't mind taking a bit of a hit on the price either, if it meant that I was going to sell the house. And so I chose yourselves. I looked at reviews online. I read the information you have online, made contacts, and the rest is history, as they say. I was allocated Alex Clendon as my sort of support and my go-to person, who was absolutely fabulous, I have to say. And then once you found me a buyer, which was within probably 6 or 7 weeks, I was then working quite closely with Charles, who again has been absolutely phenomenal. I can't recommend Alex and Charles in particular as well as your company enough. You do what it
Oh
says
wow.
on the tin. And for me,
Oh, fantastic. I'm sure Alex and Charles will like to hear that. That's
well,
lovely. So lovely.
I like dealing with people who have common sense, and they certainly had common sense.
I guess obviously because we're online based,
Yep.
that can always be a barrier to people wanting to use us, a concern, especially in the home buying space that doesn't always have the best reputation. And is why we exist as a company, to provide ethical ways to help people sell quickly. Did you have those reservations? To anyone that has those reservations, what would you say? What are your thoughts on that?
None at all. No reservations at all. And with hindsight, still no reservations. I wouldn't hesitate to go to yourselves again if I was to be in that position, but online for anything, because you can always pick up the phone. I mean, on your website, you've got photographs of the people I dealt with, so I could see them and what they looked like. And, it's, 25 years since I last went through the conveyancing process. But that was with an assisted move anyway, or the company move. But I didn't even walk into the estate agents at that point, because it was all done through an agent anyway, a relocation agent. So I don't think for me that was highly important to do that. And having dealt with the local agent at the tail end of last year, it didn't make any difference whatsoever seeing those people. No. So, no, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend you.
And you've already kind of kindly mentioned Alex and Charles and the service they provided. Are there any other aspects of the service you particularly liked, or anything else you felt that we did well at? Or
Well, I chose to go with the recommended solicitors as well, with Premier Property Lawyers, and I was allocated Amy, who I know is not within your company, but obviously you work closely with them. And she's been incredible as well. And the connection that Charles and Amy had really helped sort of forward the process, I believe. And I do know that the bungalow that I bought, that I'm sat in now, those vendors started off with a different local solicitor, but then changed to Premier Property Lawyers as well. And
Oh,
so
wow.
that helped speed things up, even though it became a protracted process further down the chain. But certainly that was a blessing as well.
Yeah, because that team within Premier Property Lawyers, Amy, you mentioned, they only work on our cases,
Right.
which is what helps so much the communication you mentioned, because Charles is speaking to them every day about different cases, and there's always that bridge between the two.
And I think that relationship that Charles has got with Amy and the others so helps when there's any sort of niggly little things going on with the process. So yeah, absolutely. I think the whole package works.
Lovely. And I guess what advice would you give to someone considering using us at the moment?
Not to be afraid to do so. I mean, if people really want to, you can dip your toe into the process, and if it's not working for you, you can step back from it. But I think by stepping into it, you will find out it will work. It is finding that one person who wants to buy your property. And I was fortunate enough to find that through you. You know, because the house I was selling wasn't really for a first-time buyer or anything like that. It was always going to be within a chain, so I thought, and it turned out to be. But it was getting those people that actually wanted to buy my house, and you did it.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Honestly, that's such a lovely testimonial.
Yeah, you deserve
I'm excited
it
for the team.
Yeah, you do deserve it. And yes, you may charge a little bit more than other people. I don't know. I can only compare with the local people, but especially the negotiations that Charles did, they were worth absolutely every penny, I would say.
Lovely. Oh, thank you so much.
You.
Is there anything you'd want to add, or is that, I guess that I feel like you couldn't have said anything more.
No, I mean, we worked through the eWay app, and that was good to see as well, because you can be completely up to date with activity that the solicitor has taken. I could see when they logged that they'd received an email from me. I couldn't see the detail of it, which is obviously why you can't, but you could see that they were working on things, and you could see the connections that they had with yourselves, and the fact that yourselves had responded and things like that. I just think the whole package works, and I don't plan to sell again. I've got lots of renovations to do to this, but I plan this to be my forever home. But if I was to be in that position again, I absolutely wouldn't hesitate to contact you.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know the process is ended now, but are there any loose ends that we can help with, or
None.
is everything?
None at all. None at all.
Oh.
So, and even that process, being able to sign up to a company that sorts out the change of address on certain points, that helped as well. You know.
Oh, lovely.
So, yeah. No, that's absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you.